What's going on, fishing buddies? Welcome back to the channel. Backyard review of Beach Nasty. Spent a lot of time and effort getting this guy going. This was your standard senior fishing mate beach cart. Started off with a frame just like this. With the help of Deerfield Fabrication and Welding and Beach Power Manufacturing here in Gulf Shores, I was able to create something to help me with the charters. Constantly running these beach charters was getting tiring with the standard cart, the two wheels, pulling it. I didn't have room for the equipment that I was carrying down there. Things were falling off. I was actually having to carry things in my hand there at the end. So I reached out to those two companies. With a collaboration, we were able to come up with this. Let's get it out there. I don't even know where to start. Obviously I have Beach Nasty put together. I've broken everything back down that I can without just really unscrewing stuff. I just finished putting this plate on, which is going to be a huge help. That came from Deerfield Fabrication and Welding over there in North Carolina. Because once I had Beach Nasty put together, I was still finding a few little problem areas. So I was able to reach out to them and they were able to solve them. Let's start here. I mean, this is what I started with. This is your standard Fishing Mate Senior. This is actually a pier cart. So it had like the rubber wheels, not the orange tires, but mine had the orange tires. So one axle, you can see here where the holes were already drilled. So there was one axle running here, then the orange tires, and then your standard stuff. You know, it had the pull bar that you pulled it behind you up here. Had your little bait basket, the little cutting board basket thing on it, but just took all that stuff off. This is what I started with. I broke it back. I broke Beach Nasty down to its naked form and started building it from there. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. To give you an idea, so this here on the grass, this is the original frame. What I got from Deerfield Fabrication and Welding was this is what they call a lift kit. You can see here the lift kit, right? So basically your original frame sits on top of this and then you bolt it in. These are 1/4 inch screws, I believe. I just used a metal drill bit and 1/4 inch and drilled through and then fastened everything. So I got this lift kit fastened with 4 bolts, 2 in the front and then 2 in the back. And that got this guy off the ground, so I was able to put some bigger tires on. With the rising of the cart also, it makes things a lot easier to access on the beach. I wasn't vented down as much. My cooler is pretty much at like belly level, so it's right there. Moving into the tires, obviously I have 4, so I did add an extra axle and 2 more tires, but really I just got 4 new tires. These axles are 5/8 and the tires are 16 inch. Both the axle and the tires came from Beach Power Manufacturing over in Gulf Shores, and the powder coating, which we'll get into that later. These are great tires. Lynn, the owner of Beach Power over there, actually created, designed, and had molds built of these rims. And I'll break those down for you right now. So Lynn designed these. They come apart and they have just really easy to find bearings in them. That's your standard bearing you can get at any hardware store. So if those bearings do start going bad, you start getting squeaks, things like that, you stick a flathead screwdriver in there, you pop those out and you put a new one in. It's that simple. The way these connect is Obviously they go on one on each side of the tire, and then they connect, and then you inflate the tire. And then Lynn will add this plate here, run his bolts through the back there, and you're good to go. With these tires also, Beach Power Manufacturing has added, it's kind of hard to see I think because of the glare, but there's an extra strip down the middle of these tires for more durability. So Beach Power says these are good for sand or pier. So no more switching your tires out like, you know, you have your balloon tires obviously when you want to go out on the beach. Then you might want to do some pier fishing and you switch them out, and it's kind of a pain. So Lynn has figured out a way to solve that with this extra durability strip right down the center that gives you more strength to when you are taking it on the pier or even on the street, things like that, with, you know, wood splinters, rocks, anything that can pop those tires. And if you've had those orange tires before, you know how easily they pop. Before we get any further, I want to kind of point out a few things that I messed up on to save you from that. So how I did this was basically as I was getting parts in, I was putting it together. Like I couldn't wait, you know? And I strongly suggest to do your research, figure out what you want for your cart, order the parts, and they can be pricey. So I had to kind of piece it out. You know, I wasn't ordering everything at once or I would have got a divorce. So I was just kind of piecing it together, but as it was coming in, I'd put it on the cart. And come in again, I put it on the cart. And I really wish I would have waited till I completed the whole thing and then got out there and pieced it together. So this piece here is what came for my flag, and I'll show you the flag here in a minute. I love the flag. I advertise with my flag. I see a lot of guys on the beach flying the American flag or whatever they're advertising their brand. It's just a great way to draw attention. It looks cool. And so this is the piece that Deerfield has come up with that you attach to the cart, and your flagpole will run down in here and actually anchor into the sand, because with these four wheels, any kind of wind, it will push this cart around. I mean, this thing is meant to float. So with that flag, it anchors it in and you don't have to worry about that. But what I did is I put the flag on here, and this is the front of the cart. And I really wish I would have put it on the side. It's kind of in the way here. This is where my rods and reels go too, in the front. So it gets kind of jumbled, especially at the end of the trip when I'm trying to put things away and I got the flag here. I have to end up taking the flag out, and it's kind of a pain. Plus, when it anchors into the sand, it blocks my license plate. So this is one thing I definitely messed up on. I mean, I am just gonna leave it out. You know, I've figured out how to work around it. I really wish I would have put this flag bracket over here on the side, kind of out of the way. It would still anchor down nice, and I would have it on the side of the cart, and it wasn't interfering with anything else. And this is the flag. I just measured it out. I've never measured it. I thought it was around 10 foot, but it's actually 12 foot. This guy flies high. Deerfield created this. They make it super simple. I mean, it comes with these little flag connectors already ready. I actually ordered another little set. They were super easy to put on. Deerfield will even send you the little Allen wrench that you need. So I have the PB, you know, advertising the charters. And I fly the Fish Bites on the bottom of that. Fish Bites was one of my first supporters of the channel, of the charter business. They have been just nothing but excellent to me for the past year and a half. And I feel honored to be a part of that company. So the flag slides right down in there. You can see it's kind of angled, the cut of the metal. And then you would anchor that into the sand. And you got your flags flying high at the beach, attracting all kind of attention. And after you're done for the day, super easy. Again, Deerfield makes things easy. Pop that guy off. This guy breaks back in half. You can roll it up and easily transport it back to the house. If you're interested in getting a flag like this for your beach cart to fly high, contact maritiardo.com. I will leave her link in the description. She can get you one of these made. Moving on to the handlebars. Again, Deerfield Fabrication and Welding out of North Carolina. I got these handlebars from. They will send you a couple brackets here that, again, just like the flagpole, you just bolt on, same screws, quarter inch drill bit, drill through, connect them in. They've figured it out pretty much for this senior mate cart to where once you put this on there and you kind of slide it over close to this second pole holder here, that's pretty much where you need them. Then you just take your handlebars, slides right in. They have some pre-drilled holes here too, that if you wanted to like just permanently lock these handlebars in, you could. I like to leave them loose because I never know when I might need to take them out for like transporting or something like that, or getting through a tight space. It's just a real easy, just pop them right out and I can get them out of the way. So we've gone over the flag, the handlebars, the lift kit, tires, and axle. Let's move into the sand spike holders, which have greatly simplified my life. Again, just real easy detachable. You just slide these guys right into the mounts. Boom, boom, connected. I just kind of eyeballed it. I didn't do any measurement. Get those guys in. You can take these out for transport. When you're ready to go, you just slide them right in. They've never gone anywhere. And I can load up some sand spikes on those. I fit four 4-foot aluminum sand spikes on this thing with room to spare. So when I break down the flag at the end or going to the beach, I'll break it down in half and I put that on there also. And it rides perfect. If you don't get anything else for your beach cart, get the sand spike holders. Those things, they free up so much room. As you can see, I still have my entire cart empty. Moving into the newest and hopefully final upgrade, probably not, is this plate. Comes in 2 pieces. You can kind of see down the middle here. So it was shipped to me in 2 pieces. It's already cut to fit the senior. Side note, I am doing the review or the upgrades on the senior, but Deerfield makes all these same fabrications for the junior also. Here is another mistake I made that maybe I could save you from. Getting this plate on. I didn't do too much research into it. I thought about some rivets, things like that. Basically, I just winged it and I went to the hardware store and I found some screws that I think might work. Use some epoxy and some liquid thread for the screws also. I got stainless steel screws, but as you can see, oh, I got my hair in there. As you can see, they didn't go flush, right? So they kind of stick up a bit, which is definitely, you know, not what I wanted, but I didn't want to pull them out and start drilling more holes also. Something else that I found out is some of the screws were right on where I had bolted in the lift kit. So I wasn't able to get a screw in there, but it's secure. You know, as long as this thing's not rattling around when I'm going through the sand, I'm okay. It doesn't look that great. I'll eventually try to get this fixed, get some professionals. I can fix things, but I'm not that handy. Again, here, I couldn't get a screw in here because this is where I bolted on my handlebars. So little things that I wish I would have waited till I got everything before I started putting it together. Deerfield also makes an option for that same flooring for the bottom here. So this is your lift kit. So you can get a flooring too for the bottom. So you would have basically 2 decks. And I was gonna do this, but then I figured something out. I found that my sand flea rake rides perfectly in there and it kind of hooks onto that first axle. So once I discovered that, I just kind of got away from the bottom plate. I like this guy out of my way, riding down low. It's never fallen off. It's just a perfect fit. And I'll throw my little cutting board bait basket. Usually I'll let it ride right here. Got everything prepared. This, you know, if you guys have these carts, you know, these just pop on and off. They're easy to move around. When I'm transporting it, I'll take it off so it's not bouncing. My Spudniks aren't bouncing around, hitting things. So that guy will go here. Then I'll get my cooler in, my bucket, and my tackle bag. And this is the reason I went with the flooring, because I was finding that my bucket was, it was falling over and this guy might fall out. So the flooring was super important. I'm glad I went ahead and got that. Everything's sitting flush and nice. I take 5 rods with me, so basically my bigger rods, my 11-foot and 12-foots, will go in the front, and then I'll take my little 8-foot little caster rod and stick them usually right here. Obviously the flag wouldn't be up, it would be here, and I'm rolling, guys. And this thing has made my life so much easier. So this was, obviously this is the original Fish and Mate cart. The color, this aluminum gray, has these rubber stoppers on here. These guys get cracked and kind of torn over time, but they're okay. And you know, it's a good color. I mean, it's pretty neutral. And this is the color that your lift kit will come from Deerfield also. It'll be the same aluminum gray color. And when I was researching these wheels at Beach Power Manufacturing, I found out they did powder coating. So I was like, hey man, would you guys be interested in powder coating the cart? They didn't have a lot of colors to choose from. They had the black and they had like a blue color. And they told me that I could order any color I wanted. It was just gonna cost more, and I was already putting a lot of money into everything. So I just went with what they had, which was the black. I chose the black. And they powder coated. Obviously I didn't have everything on it. I just took them, the frame and the lift kit, and they powder coated that for me. And what I thought was awesome was when they removed the standard rubber pieces, they coated this with like a plastic. So I didn't have to put new black rubber pieces on it. Looks super cool, super durable. It's the same thing they do with their sand spikes, that same plastic they do with their sand spikes. Before we get into the loading of everything, I forgot to mention these. These do not come standard with the handlebar from Deerfield. I picked these up at Walmart. They were like $6 in the bicycle aisle. Put some soapy water inside and slid them on. It was a little tough getting them on. I actually had to put on a glove and kind of work it until I got it. But these things are nice. A major concern I had was my beach cart with all the upgrades, the extra tires, gonna fit in my short bed truck? This is a Toyota Tacoma Crew Cab 2017 with my porter rod system, because I was not ready to live without this thing. I love my porter rod system. If you guys have been following the channel, I've had this about a year now, and it has been a lifesaver. Beach Nasty fits perfectly in here. Tailgate closes and everything. I mean, that's how I transport it. We'll talk about the cons of all the upgrades now. So the only con that I have figured out or come across so far is the weight of this thing. Obviously adding a bunch more, especially the other set of tires and axle, it does weigh more. And I'm not able to load my cart and easily load it in and out of the back of the truck. I do have to unload it, but I have a simple solution for that. So I'll get my 5 rods in first, and then I'll take my sand spikes one by one, and they fit perfectly on the back side of this porter rod system. And I can get all the sand spikes right into there. I used to just leave all this stuff on the cart when I had just the standard cart, and I was able to lift it and get it in there. I had a lot smaller cooler at the time also too. So this cooler that I'm using now has added a lot of weight, but it's a lot better cooler. This is the Hammerhead Cooler, local guy out of Alabama here. He makes kayaks also, makes some great coolers. So I'll get all these guys in. My sand flea rake will also ride right back there. Cooler, bait bucket, tackle bag, and then the tops of those sand spike holders will go in the back seat of the truck. Then I will remove my little bait basket here, kind of get it off to the side. And then at this point, I can just lift this guy up. Slide him right in. Perfect. Put the bait basket just right in the cart. Then the flagpole just slides right back down in underneath that porter rod system. Rides out the back like that. Great addition to my life and the surf fishing charters. As you can see, I got a lot more room. It's a lot easier to push. The unloading and loading takes a little bit more time, but I'm okay with that because once I get it on the sand, things are a lot better. I highly suggest Deerfield Fabrication and Welding out of North Carolina. Great guys. They were supporters of the 2022 Spring Pompano Showdown. They were actually here, came in town. Great group of guys. And then Lynn over at Beach Power Manufacturing in Gulf Shores for the tires, axles, and powder coat. Their websites are linked in the description of this video. I would suggest kind of looking through Deerfield products, figuring out your cart, what you would want to upgrade it, and start piecing it together. If you're like me, I couldn't afford to get everything at once. So ordered here and there, got some stuff in. Don't make the same mistake I did, start putting things together. Wait till you got everything, and then you can really sit down and figure out the construction of that thing. If you guys are enjoying the videos, please hit me a like, hit me a subscribe. Really helps out the rhythm of the channel. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you would like to do a guided surf fishing tour or kayak fishing tour in the Perdido Key, Orange Beach, Pensacola area, you can find all my rates at PerdidoBlade.com. Till next time, fishing buddies.